Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name's Mary if you're new here. I am going to be doing a reading vlog, a dedicated reading vlog for It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, which I don't think is as popular a book now as it was when it first came out, but I've had this book on hold for my library for like 6 months, and I just got the audiobook. So I'm listening to it. I am already about like 30-something% of the way in, 30% of the way in, so just under a third. And I'm going to vlog my experience reading it and just like talk about my thoughts. I'm trying not to give spoilers at this point. I don't think I'm going to give spoilers, but the premise of this book, what I knew going into it, I should say, is that it's about an abusive relationship. It's about an abusive relationship, and It Ends With Us is like the cycle of abuse. So that's what I know. The main character's name is Lily Bloom, which is very funny. And her father was really abusive. So like the kickstart of the book, she is standing on a rooftop and she meets our love interest, Ryle, which is a very stupid name and I don't want to talk about it. It's Kyle with an R. Why? I don't know. If your name is Ryle, comment down below and let me know that that's a real name, because at this point I don't believe Miss Colleen Hoover that is a name. So Ryle is like a surgeon. Lily wants to be a florist. She just graduated college and moved to Boston from Maine. Or maybe she went to school in Boston, unclear. So she wants to open up her own florist shop, and she meets this guy, and they have this like one-off talk. And on this night, the surgeon guy, Ryle, lost a kid on the table. So that's his like, why he was on the roof, his like traumatic thing that has kickstarted him being here. And Lily just got back from her father's funeral in Maine, and she was supposed to give a eulogy at her dad's funeral, but she literally couldn't think of anything nice to say about him because he was really abusive towards her and her mom. And so she gave like a really shitty eulogy. I think she says that the eulogy was like, I'm going to list off my favorite things about my dad. And then she just stood there silently for 2 minutes, which honestly, boss bitch move. But I understand why that would like rub people the wrong way, but you know, don't ask me to give a eulogy of someone whom I don't like's funeral. I'm just saying. So, they obviously are like the love interest of the book, right? And then we sort of follow them, and Ryle has this thing where he doesn't want a girlfriend because he's got these ambitions and he wants to be a surgeon and he's a career guy. He's not interested in dating anyone. And Lily really likes Ryle, but she's not interested in having a one-night stand with him. So as you can see, their relationship will develop, and they have like run into each other throughout other things. Like Ryle's sister ends up working with Lily at the florist shop that she opens up. Again, I don't know when I'm getting into spoilers. So if this does go into spoilers, then I will like mark it as spoilers. But what I will tell you right now, at 30% of the way in, I do not like Ryle. I don't like the way he treats Lily. I don't think it's romantic. I don't think... It's weird though, because he's doing a lot of things that like classic heroes in romances will do. Like he's very narcissistic. He's very like, I like you, but I think there's like a type of hero, like the Mr. Darcy type of hero, where he is like really standoffish, really like on edge around other people, but he softens for one person. Ryle is not softening around Lily. He's just like being as aggressive towards her, but in like a romantic way, like in a like sexual way, if that makes sense. Lily is very naive, in my opinion. She's been through a lot of trauma and abuse, and so like it's understandable that she's like more shy, more reserved, less like more subservient, I suppose. Not that this is like a dom sub thing. Nothing has happened so far to make me believe that is going to be the case. So, but that's just like personality wise. Ryle has a much more dominant personality than Lily does. So that's icky. I don't really like it. But I've heard other people say that they like went into this thinking it was going to be like a romance. And it is to an extent, but it's just like people I think have told me that they thought it was gonna be like a dark romance, where you were like still rooting for the couple, but I don't think that's the case. I think this is literally like kind of watching someone live out a really traumatic experience is what I like the vibe I'm getting, and I'm getting really like anxious on behalf of Lily. So other people can let me know if like I'm just on guard because I know that this is about an abusive relationship, or you know, if I'm reading the vibes right. So that's that. The other thing that is happening in this book that I don't really love as of yet, I'm sure it will tie in and make more sense as we go along, but a lot of the book is, not necessarily a lot, but like a good chunk is Lily reading her old journals from when she was in high school. And that way we get to live her abuse from her father and watch her go through seeing her dad like physically abuse her mom and hurt her and her mom through her eyes. So definitely content warnings for all of this stuff, right? But Lily also had a friend in high school who lived in the abandoned building next door, who was a boy that went to her school who was homeless. I assume something is going to happen between this homeless boy and her dad. I don't know what it's going to be, but I can only imagine. But she's like developing this friendship with this boy. I've heard some people get really annoyed that she like writes her diary entries to Ellen DeGeneres, but I don't know about everyone. I definitely I used to read these books. They were like a historical fiction series of books for like middle grade or YA, I think. And in them, they were all diaries. I can't remember, epistolary? Is that what that is? Or is that letters? I don't know. But they were all diary entries. And there was one of this girl who was from an Italian immigrant family, and they were on the Oregon Trail going west. And she, I'm pretty sure, wrote her diary entries to an imaginary person. And so I did that because I read that book where she did that. And so I don't think this is an uncommon thing, but I do think it is like something you have to sort of overlook, because she comments about the Ellen DeGeneres show all the time in her diary entries. She talks about watching Ellen DeGeneres. She gives Ellen DeGeneres advice, something she should put in her show. And so I think you can either choose to look at that as cute and goofy, or you can be annoyed by it. I personally am choosing to look at it as if it's cute and goofy, and knowing that this girl was 14, 15 when she was writing these journals. Although I will say, I didn't really journal anymore after the point of being in 6th grade. Not that I think she's immature for doing it, because I think she had a good reason for writing down all of her feelings and things that were happening to her. But I'm just saying, if that's going to bother you, that's definitely a part of this. So that's where I'm at with this. I will keep updating you as I get updates for this book, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I don't want to I feel like I'm saying a lot of negative things about it, but for what it is, I'm really liking it. Yeah, that's my update. Big baby. Hello, it's a few days later. I don't think I filmed anything for this vlog, but I am very close to being finished with It Ends With Us. I listened to a lot of it yesterday, just while I was at the house doing random things around. And I really like this book. I think it's very well done. I really like the characters. I was right about my hunch about not liking the love interest, because it is about an abusive relationship unfolding. And I think this book offers a lot of really interesting commentary about the way that we as a society treat the partners of abusers, and how even though we don't blame people for being abused explicitly, we definitely implicitly do when we say things like, why didn't she leave him? Or why did they go back? How could they still love someone like that? So this book does deal a lot with reconciling that aspect, especially when you consider the fact that Lily's mother was abused by Lily's father, and she blamed her mom for a lot of the abuse that she suffered from her dad, just because she didn't understand why her mom wouldn't leave. And then so to see herself be in a similar situation is really hard. I will say something that I don't love about this book is there is the inclusion of an extra love interest who is someone who was close to Lily when she was in high school. So I mentioned that there is a large part of this book told through journal entries of Lily's when she was in high school. And I just realized that this pillow is all messed up. My dogs love to sit on this couch and they'll pull that pillow onto the ground and lay on it. I don't know why, but let me fix it. Okay, it's a little better. That was driving me crazy. A lot of the book is told through these journal entries from when Lily was in high school. And so that's how we get to see her childhood and her experience with her dad being abusive through her eyes, which is really interesting. But there is a boy that she's friends with at that time who continues to be a big part of her life, or comes back into her life during her present day current relationship. And I don't understand why it's been included. I mean, he's serving a purpose. I don't think he needed to serve that purpose, and I think it would have been more impactful. Okay, I feel like I have to talk about spoilers to really talk about this. So unfortunately, this is now officially a spoiler reading vlog. I'm gonna mark it though, because I think you could still watch most of this vlog without being spoiled. So what I'm talking about is Atlas, and how when Lily's husband beats her up the first time, or like pushes her and she like hits her head on the cabinet or whatever, she goes to Atlas's restaurant, not realizing it's his restaurant. He sees her and knows what happened because he sees that her husband's hand is all bandaged up. And he's like, hey, whatever happened. He like gives her his phone number, and then later that becomes like a fight that she and Riles continuously have. But like, why, when she left Riles, she goes to Atlas's house, right? She calls him. He's the person who's going to be like her rock. He can be there for her. I personally feel like it would have been so much better and so much more powerful if she had been able to call her mother, and she and her mother could have actually like gotten out, you know, this is the effect that watching you get beat up when I was a kid had on me, and her mom could give her some like practical advice and really like step in for her in a way that she was never able to step in for herself, if that makes sense. And I don't get why we just allowed, we being Colleen Hoover, I don't understand why she just wrote in Atlas as like a secondary love interest who could just swoop in and like save the day, especially because what Lily's going through is like horrific and traumatic, and Atlas being at all involved in that is messy. Like that would never work. You cannot just go from being in like a really intense, abusive, harmful relationship and then jump ship to someone else. And I know that's like not technically what happened, although I have a theory that we're going to end the book with maybe Riles is going to move to do his residency thing that he wanted to do at the Mayo Clinic. I don't really know. I have a theory that we're going to end the book and Lily and Riles are going to be divorced, and then we're going to do another time jump, and Atlas is going to like come into her flower shop and they're going to be together. And I don't know, maybe he'll raise their baby. I don't know. But that is driving me crazy. That is the one thing about this book that I'm like, why is he here? Like, I just feel like you could have done, Colleen Hoover could have done something, and she chose to do something else. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to try to finish this now. I am meeting up with friends. I'm going to my friend's house tonight, and we're doing one of those like PowerPoint parties. So she's hosting a dinner party for us. It's one of my friends from law school. So a bunch of the girls in my law school class are going to her apartment, and she's cooking us like a 4-course meal, which is hilarious. And then we're all making a PowerPoint. I don't know if you've seen those TikToks, but we're doing like law school related PowerPoints. Like one of my friends said she's doing the ranked top 10 places to take a nap on campus, or maybe top 10 places to cry. I can't remember what she said she was doing. And then I'm doing all of our professors and what reality TV show I think they would compete on, because I think that would be funny. So I need to make my PowerPoint, but that's what I'm doing tonight. I hopefully will finish this book. I think I have like less than 2 hours of the audiobook left, which means that I have like an hour of it left because I listen on 2 times speed. So, I don't know. I know it sounded like I was like disliking it based on the nitpicky thing I just talked about, but I am liking it. Like, it's definitely at least a 4-star. It made me like sob. I was crying a lot earlier this morning when I was listening to it after I had walked my dogs and stuff. So that's where I'm at with that. But I'll check in with you guys when I have another update, and yeah. Hello, it is storming out, so if you can hear that, you're welcome, because it's like atmospheric, but if you can't hear it, sorry that I even mentioned it. Hold on. I think that's better. There's also like weird shadows in here because it's storming out, so my lighting is a little off, but I wanted to let you guys know that I finished It Ends With Us, and it went pretty much the way that I expected it to. I think I ended up giving it 4 stars, I think. I was between 4 and 5, because here's the thing. I don't think it could have, I think it like really captured what it was trying to capture. I just had that one gripe with certain plot elements, but I think that other people like that element. I think it's just a me thing. So I do think this is like a 4-star book, but I would recommend it if you are in the market for reading a book that heavily involves abuse and the cycle of abuse. So that being said, that's like all I really have as an update for this. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more dedicated reading vlogs to like hyped releases, I know this came out like 2016, but like books that are really hyped on BookTube, I would love to do more videos like this. I am trying to do more vlogs this year and right now in my life. So let me know if you want to see that. Comment down below if you've read this book and how you felt about it. Sorry, my dog just bumped the tripod, so it got a little shaky. And if you would like to, you can subscribe to my channel because I do post 2 videos every single week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!